Welcome to the deep dive. You know, it's super frustrating when your Central Texas lawn starts looking, well, rough, despite everything you do.
Hmm.
Today, we're digging into one big reason why that might be happening. Grub infestation.
Yep, those little root munchers.
We've gone through info from the grounds guys of Pflugerville and Cedar Park. So, learner, your mission today is to really get a handle on the signs and what you can actually do about them around here.
Exactly. Think of this as like your grub early warning system. We want you to be able to spot the trouble under the surface before your lawn throws in the towel with brown patches everywhere.
Okay, let's get right into it then. What are the very first signs, the clues that maybe grubs are, setting up shop?
Well, usually the first thing you'll see are these dead or brown patches of grass.
Yeah.
But the key is they won't green up, not even if you water like crazy or throw down fertilizer.
Right. It's like the grass just isn't
Yeah,
responding.
it's just giving up.
And I remember reading it's not just how it looks, there's something about how the lawn feels too.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. If you walk on an infested area, it often feels kind of spongy or loose underfoot.
Spongy.
Yeah, and if it's really bad, you might actually be able to lift up a piece of the sod, like peel it back like a carpet.
Wow, like a carpet. That sounds bad.
It is. It means those grubs have munched away most of the roots holding it down.
Okay, so liftable turf is a pretty clear sign. Are there other, maybe less obvious things happening above ground we should watch for?
Definitely. Keep an eye out for more animals digging around, birds, armadillos, maybe
Oh,
raccoons.
they're hunting.
Exactly, they love grubs.
Yeah.
So increased digging can be a big clue. And, well, the most direct way is to just pull back a bit of that sad-looking turf.
And look for the culprits themselves?
Yep. You might see them, little white C-shaped larvae. They're usually just below the soil surface. Those are the beetle babies doing the damage.
Okay, so let's say we've seen some signs, maybe the spongy patches, more birds than usual. Why is jumping on this early so important? What's the actual damage they cause?
The critical thing, really, is that they feed directly on the grass roots. And that root damage, it's often permanent,
Mm.
irreversible.
Wow.
Yeah. So by the time you see those big brown patches, a lot of the root system might already be destroyed. That makes it way harder for the lawn to bounce back.
And there's a timing element too, right?
Right. They're most active doing those feeding in late summer and early fall, typically. So um, thinking about prevention, especially in the spring, can really help break that cycle before they get established.
Okay, got it. Early action is key for the ruse. So, what can folks actually do if they think they have grubs or, they pull back the sod and see them?
Well, the good news is there are effective ways to deal with them. Companies like the grounds guys, they offer inspections to actually diagnose the problem, make sure it is grubs.
Okay.
And if it is, then you've got options.
Yeah.
There are targeted insecticide treatments. Some are
To
preventive.
stop them before they start?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Applied earlier in the season.
Yeah.
And others are curative, meaning they kill the grubs that are already there.
What about people looking for maybe a more natural route? Any eco-friendly options?
Yes, absolutely. Beneficial nematodes are a great choice. They're like microscopic worms that naturally hunt and kill grubs in the soil. No harsh chemicals.
Nematodes, interesting.
Yeah. And after any treatment, it's always a good idea to help the lawn recover. Things like aeration to get more air and water to the remaining roots, and overseeding to help thicken the lawn back up.
Makes sense. Building resilience back.
Right. And some people just opt for an annual grub control program, kind of like insurance.
We actually got a direct quote from Jim Cook, the owner over at the Grounds Guys. What was his main takeaway for us, learner?
Yeah, Jim really stressed being proactive. He basically said, don't wait until your lawn is falling apart
Mm.
because, by the time you see that visible damage, the roots have already taken a serious hit.
So don't wait.
Nope. He said consistent monitoring and early season treatment are the best insurance policy for your turf. It really drives home that prevention, or at least very early action, is way better than trying to fix major damage later.
And just to be clear, this advice isn't just for any lawn anywhere. This is specifically tuned for us here.
Oh, absolutely. This is super relevant for folks in Pflugerville, Cedar Park, Round Rock, this whole central Texas area, the climate, the soil, the types of beetles we have, it's all factored in. These guys are local. They know our specific challenges.
Okay. So the big message for you, learner, is really pay attention to your lawn. Don't just write off those brown spots that won't green up or that spongy feel or the extra critters digging around.
Mm-hmm.
Catching it early, taking the right steps that can really save your lawn from some serious, maybe even irreversible damage.
Exactly right. being vigilant, being proactive, that's your best defense against these guys.
And thinking about that, learner, it makes you wonder if these tiny grubs hiding underground can mess things up so badly by attacking the roots. What else is going on down there in that whole unseen ecosystem of the soil? Maybe that's a whole other deep dive for another time.
Could be. The soil's a busy place.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.